Hello?
Are we live? I can't hear anything.
What's the problem? Let's see.
We're not even on. Nothing's registered.
We're not on. Yeah, we are. Why not? Let's see. You're mic 3. You're up.
No, look at the thing. Look at the thing I'm talking
Oh, how interesting. Maybe it's not plugged in for some reason. Let's see. Let's follow the cord. Let's follow the cord.
It's here.
All right. Let's go here.
This is 3. Nothing's happening.
Wow, that's bizarre.
Should I... Why am I talking to the microphone?
Let's see.
Okay, hold on.
2.
Is this not the right mic? That's not that one. All
These things happen.
This is the mic thing, right?
No, that's the headphones.
Okay.
Okay, we have technical difficulties here. Mic 3 doesn't seem to be plugged in like it usually is. So,
Nothing's happening. What's this one? What's this thing?
what's that?
I thought this was headphones.
No. It's this. It's this. Here, why don't you come talk into this mic?
All right.
And I'll try to trace this.
If I do this, though, I'm gonna whack you in the head.
That's
Sorry, everybody. Hold on. We have problems here. What does it matter? Is it not? Do you want me to try and go on this microphone?
Well, let's see.
Okay, I'm going back. What is that microphone?
Not sure. Let's see if it's 4. Try it.
Hello.
Oh, that one works.
That one works.
All right.
Taking it out of its thing.
We're going to switch to 4. Mic 4.
Okay. All right. This is
Good.
weird.
Okay, well, it wasn't that bad. Just sometimes
Terrifying.
life screws up like that.
Ooh, that's a close one.
Our mic that we're so is so trustworthy.
Oh, what is wrong
usually.
with it?
I don't know, mic 3.
Oh, you know what? Does it have like a little turny-on-y thing on it?
No.
Nope, it doesn't.
No.
I don't know. That's
Something
about as
happened.
far as my troubleshooting goes. So.
Okay, we're good.
I'm going into the red though. Is that bad?
Let's see.
No, wait.
No, you're good.
I'm orange.
You're fine.
Okay, good.
Yeah, you're fine.
All right, now let's start over.
Yeah, and you look great.
Hang on, my snow pants have a really bad zipper, which works its way down over the day, and then I walk around with my fly undone. I know it's just your snow pants, no big deal, but still. It makes me feel like I'm just not put together properly.
Right.
Not that I look put together,
Yeah.
but you know.
I know how you feel. I really do. I don't feel put together almost
No.
ever.
No.
I used
definitely
to.
don't
I can
lately.
think back to times when I used to feel put together. But that's been a long time, actually.
Me too. You would think it would get easier as you get older. Like it's second nature to be like, do this, this, and this, and I'm an organized, put together person. But no, it's getting harder. I feel far more disorganized and spastic when I leave the house. I make unnecessary trips. I leave something upstairs. And instead of getting all the things I need upstairs, I only get the one thing, and then I have to make another trip back upstairs. When I used to be able to think ahead and get all the things I needed in one go.
Yes, you did.
And now I can't
And
lately.
look at you now. Oh, my
Super
gosh.
spazzy. Well,
What a sorry state of affairs.
I don't have blood or afterbirth all over me right now.
What did you call it?
Blood and afterbirth, which I was just saying earlier. I was forbidden
Right.
to take my child into school yesterday because I'd run straight from the barn to drive him down, and I had my barn coveralls on, and the legs and cuffs were all mucked up with yucky things. And I understand.
Because why?
Because the lambs were coming fast and furious, and I was going to go right back in there when I got back, and my coveralls were warm, and all I was going to do was drive to the bottom of the hill, so it wasn't like
Right.
I didn't need to miss America up.
No, well, it's like I said, you're not the first farmer to go into the Tunbridge school.
I know, but he's getting
He's
to
just
that age
at that
where it's
sensitive
just,
age. Yeah.
weird to him. So
Yeah. He has to be clean. When he goes into school, he's supposed to be clean.
the kid is not into baths though, so you wouldn't think he would care if I was grubby. I have to fight him to take a shower.
Yeah.
Whereas my older son will stay in the shower for hours. You can't get him out. Like he'll take 2 or 3 a day if you didn't make him not. I mean, I get it. He's a teenager. He stinks. Like I'm fine with him taking a bunch of showers, but also it's just interesting. I'm trying to gauge where that line will be crossed with the younger one, or if he's just going to be like a filthy little pig forever.
Yeah. Well, we had quite a week, didn't we? Both of us.
Yeah, it went by in a second.
My generator died.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Oh, Kristina.
It's always like this crisis when it happens, and after the shock, I sort of go into denial for a while.
Oh, that's terrible. I had no idea your generator died this week.
Yeah. Well, bad things happen to people who can't read dipsticks. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? We had this conversation about dipsticks, and you accused me of reading dipsticks wrong, and I
did not.
Yes.
I said I am bad at it.
Well, I was trying to tell you, like, you can't pull it out at an angle. And you
were trying to act like you knew how to do it. And I didn't, like I hadn't tried like a million different ways to read my dipstick. Come on now. Do I look stupid?
Well, you just said you're bad at reading dipsticks.
I am still bad.
There must be a reason, Kristina.
It's a persistent problem for me. Look,
I'm really glad there are very few dipsticks in my life. Like or at least the dipsticks that are in my life, I am not responsible for them.
Didn't it used to be an insult? Couldn't you call somebody a dipstick?
I think that's dipshit. Oh, sorry. I combined the words. It was a compound word.
Right. That's fantastic. So I went into denial, and I could do that for about 12 hours. Like I say, well, I don't have to think about this right now. I'm going to go eat something and go to sleep.
Yep.
And in the morning, I'll deal with it. So I did. And so the morning came, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to think about thinking about it. I'm going to think about, maybe I'm going to think about it now, but I'm not going to get upset. Like the whole point is you don't want to stress your nervous system. So you're going to hold it off until you know you can be calm.
Right. Until you have less worry on your plate and you can attack that one.
Yeah. And so first thing I said, okay, just go find the manual first. So I did. I found it. Finally.
Haven't you read this manual inside out by now?
Yes, but the problem is, where did I last file it?
Oh, God, yeah.
So I found it. There was 3 different places that it could have been filed, but I found it. It was in the generator file.
Whoa.
Isn't that amazing?
That's
it was
some
actually
luck there.
Under maintenance generator.
Holy
and there
cow.
it was.
I'm impressed, actually.
Yeah. So then it's what kind of oil and how much? So I had to go to the store. I had to get oil. And that was the problem, was low oil. It wasn't really a breakdown.
So your generator actually shuts down when there's low oil?
Yes, it's very smart.
That's super smart.
It's a smart generator.
Because I was thinking if it shut down, involuntarily because there was no oil, that means it's dead now. But
no, this has happened a bunch.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, it was great. So I put it in the oil, and voila. It was a little bit of a hard start, but I said, come on, girl, come on. And then I'm always so thankful. I pat
Oh, I do that with the car all the time.
I do pray. I pray. I do most of my praying is out in
the generator.
By the generator. Because I'm so thankful. If you have trouble feeling gratitude.
Most of mine is in a car from 1997.
Yeah, exactly. So it all seems so simple in retrospect.
That's a happy story.
It's very happy. I was so happy.
My kitchen
I felt
been
empowered.
Dark as well for a few days now because it was one of those crisis days where I don't know what happened, but the toilet got clogged and lambs were coming and I was trying to get the kids ready and off to school and all of a sudden there was noise and John comes from the kitchen and the entire light fixture in the kitchen just fell out of the ceiling and smashed the light bulb too.
Nice.
It just fell out of its socket and the fixture and smashed down and little light bulb pieces went everywhere.
Oh, classy.
So now it's the socket that you screw the light bulb in is really old.
Ew.
It's made of some sort of
cloth
ceramic.
Wire. Yes, with cloth wires.
So it almost stripped. So you can't screw a new light bulb in. And so it just slipped out of the socket.
Oh.
And now
It's
There's
time
no
to
way
replace it,
Yeah.
I think.
And I have a new light fixture that I got for our kitchen.
Yeah, it's not hard.
But now we don't know how to shut the breaker off because usually, you turn the lights on and then because it's an old house and everything's all, who knows what goes to what. So
it's
I
not
wanted to have the
labeled.
light on and shut the breaker off so I could know if we really shut the power off. But now there's no way to put the light on. So we're just going to have to guess and maybe be electrocuted.
Great.
And I hate electricity.
Yeah,
hate it.
I know you hate it as much as you hate space.
I'm so afraid of electricity. So I'm not going to
well,
monkey around with it.
I had my electrician label all my breakers once, but you know what the problem is?
What?
I can't read his handwriting.
Oh, man.
It's so screwed up. I have to squint and get a flashlight and kind of just guess. Take a wild guess. What does that
That's not
look like?
fun. They're that way. They're labeled at the only place I have to mess around with breakers a lot is at the Tunbridge Town Hall where I teach my dance classes. Since it's also old, they have you shut all the breakers off at night when you leave for the lights upstairs and stuff.
Okay.
They don't really have switches. I mean, they kind of do, but
No
anyway.
switches, just breakers.
Kinda.
Boy, that's classy too.
It's just weird. And all the breakers are labeled, but they redid the town hall a few years ago and rewired things. And so now all the labels on the breakers don't go to
They don't
what
match.
they really are.
What is it with electricians?
And I've kind of figured it out because I'm there every week, but
It's like they get to the end of the job and it's like, oh well, the customer can do that,
they never do.
but they don't.
Yeah,
it's
and
hard.
I
It's a
almost
hard
did
job.
get electrocuted while ago, but it wasn't the breaker issue. I went to plug in my stereo and a huge bolt of light came out of the socket and
I
went
hate
everywhere,
that.
and I screamed and I dropped it. It didn't shock me, but it scared the crap out of me.
Yeah.
And then, but I realized it was because the cord on my stereo had actually frayed and was exposed. It wasn't the breaker,
I
but
bet
now
the
I'm totally
cat-
afraid.
Your cat ate
No,
it.
it just got bent so many times because we lay the stereo down in my car when I travel it back and forth, and it was pressing on the wire. And
Well, if you were an
broke.
electrician, wouldn't you want to get paid for an hour or two extra just to label
things?
the
Yeah.
breakers?
that's the only
They
part of
make- they make
electricianing that
good-
I could maybe do.
Yeah, good money.
Yeah,
It's good money. How much they make per hour? It's pretty
don't
good.
even know.
It's pretty darn
Probably
good.
find out though, because I probably have to have one come over and fix my light now.
You
Don't they have
should.
these little prongy things they can stick near things to tell
Yeah,
if
they
there's
do. They have a lot
power
of
in
prongy
it?
stuff. Yeah.
Because
Voltage
that
meters.
would be good. Because I don't know any other way to tell if the power is off in that thing.
Yeah, don't stick a screwdriver in.
No. My Aunt Dina pounded 2 nails into light sockets when she was a little girl, and she's fine. I mean, she got it. She got zapped, but I don't see how she got 2 in.
Is she smarter because of it?
I don't think so.
I mean, did it alter her brain? Do you know what I'm saying?
Don't know. Maybe.
It's-
I didn't know her
you
before.
gotta-
She was a little girl. I wasn't born yet. So,
Well, that's where you got your smarts from.
being electrocuted?
Your aunt's, she was an early adopter of,
Electroshock therapy.
yeah, self-administered.
Oh,
I don't know.
maybe.
It's just an idea.
I saw on the internet there's an abandoned insane asylum for sale.
Where?
I forgot, the Berkshires or someplace like that. Perfect horror movie set, but
Boy, I wouldn't.
nobody will buy it. It's really cheap
Yeah.
because, you hear the words abandoned and asylum in the same sentence, and you kind of just don't want that.
Some people don't care.
No. Although,
There's people who.
hasn't the Waterbury one just turned into, offices or something perfectly nice?
Yeah, that Wilder worked on that.
Did he?
He did. They had so many carpenters working there. He replaced windows for a whole winter.
I don't see why people think
It's
that.
actually beautiful buildings, but probably
know.
bad stuff happened there. You
Well,
know,
we don't know that. Why just because they hold the people who are mentally handicapped doesn't mean that they're haunted or whatever.
No, it's more that people abuse people who are
Oh.
mentally handicapped. It's not the people. It's the staff that sometimes are evil.
Oh.
Sometimes in the old days.
I mean, aren't
hope
there
it's not happening
regulations and
now.
laws and stuff about that?
Yeah, yeah. Well, here, would you buy a house where someone had recently committed suicide? I know it's a heavy topic, but I'm just curious because it came up. I looked at a house where someone had just committed suicide, which was really, really sad.
Well, I'd want to make sure that it wasn't because the house was leaking radon or something and affecting their brain first.
No, wasn't like that.
All right. What was their reasoning? Does anyone know?
No,
Did you ask?
no.
Did they commit suicide in the house?
I know. I don't know. Yes, in the house. Yes.
Well, you know, pretty much everybody who lives on an old Vermont farm has had plenty of people at least die in their house.
True.
There were a lot of, you know, so-and-so came into the barn and found, you know, Uncle Bill hanging. Like, there's a lot of that kind of thing.
Oh.
I'm just saying, it's probably more common than we think.
Okay.
In an older
Good
place.
point. And people die in childbirth, or they used to die in childbirth, so there
Yeah.
was some pretty rugged.
I mean, my house is from the 1700s. I'm sure so many people have died there.
Yeah, I would call it a rugged exit. You know, people do have rugged exits sometimes, and I mean, I guess you could clear that energy if you think that there's some kind of something that you could be helpful to clear for your, not only for your own benefit, but for the soul that has
Suicide rates
departed or
are
had
pretty high
difficulty.
now. You might be hard pressed to find a house that didn't have somebody.
Well, that's cheerful.
I'm not
cheerful.
trying to be not cheerful. I'm just saying, can you get them to lower their price like a lot because of it?
You know, I think it does happen. I think it happens if people won't buy it, they're going to have to bring the price down.
That seems like an odd thing. I mean, there are certain things when you're selling a house that you have to disclose, like that there's lead or if there's this or that.
Yeah.
I don't know if the histories of past inhabitants
good
have any
point.
legal relevance on the sale of a house.
That is a good question. Not sure.
So who knows what even happened in the house that you live in right now?
Oh, stop.
I'm just saying.
There were many, many happy moments.
There's happy moments and there's sad moments in every house.
There was
Kristina.
bankruptcy.
Yeah.
There was probably some skinned knees.
Yep.
With 5 kids, right? You'd have some
Yeah.
skinned knees and stuff like that. You'd probably
Definitely.
have parents getting mad at kids and parents getting mad at each other and all that kind of stuff. But I did sage my house like for 5 years or so, like really regularly. I've slacked
well-
off because it feels pretty good to me, but probably my own mental energy that's negative has built up. So I should probably get back on the,
The sage wagon.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you about the suicidal. I guess I would want to know a little more details about it. Like the whys and the wheres exactly.
yeah, sorry, I just burned my mouth.
Okay.
Because I poured this tea like 45 minutes ago and it's still too hot to drink.
That's
Can you believe-
crazy.
That's one darn good space age container right
It is.
there.
It
They should
is.
send it to space and get rid of it. 'cause
yours because it actually holds more than 1 cup of tea. My little travel one with the little Dala horses on it.
With what? Dial up horses?
Dala horses. You know those
Dala?
little Swedish horses that are on my travel
No.
mug that I sometimes... Mine has the red horses on
What's
it.
a Dala?
It's a little horse.
What do you mean? How to spell it?
Daila, I think.
D-A-I.
Let me just Google it. Maybe I'm
I've
spelling
never
it wrong.
heard of that. I've heard of the flowers dahlias.
That's Dale. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Dahlia.
D-A-H-L-I-A. Dahlia.
I could be.
Dahlias
Maybe
are
it's
great.
D-A-L-L-A. Hang on a second.
I'm looking forward to
I'm looking it up.
dahlias. Maybe I'll plant some.
Dala.
I only plant them for
Horse.
clients. I never had them at my house, really.
Oh, it's D-A-L-A. Is that right?
They're sort of a frivolous purchase, just getting color, just getting just blasts of color, paying for that.
Yeah,
You shouldn't have
I
to
know.
pay for beauty.
All right.
Did you
Here's
find it?
pictures of the Dala horse. So you see,
Yeah.
those things are all over my mugs.
Wow, it's a thing.
It is a thing.
It looks Mexican. Oh, but it's Scandinavian.
I think they're not
Scandinavian. Well, doesn't it look
Yeah.
similar to?
It does
kinda
a little bit.
Similar Mexican little horses that
Kind
might
of.
hang on
Their
a.
stocky shape
Yeah.
somehow reminds me of a donkey. Is that why you're thinking that?
No, I wasn't talking about
When
donkeys.
did donkeys get to be such a Mexican icon? It's kind of silly.
Maybe
There's
they're
more
horses.
donkeys in Greece, for instance.
How do you know? You don't travel.
I know, but I just think
What do you
that
mean?
there probably are. Every time you watch a movie about Greece, there's donkeys going up steps. There are.
With baskets and loaves
Yeah.
of bread and
Yes.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying,
Yeah.
how many donkeys do you see in Mexico going up steps?
I'm going to get you an
a lot.
Encyclopedia Britannica for your birthday.
Oh my God! You think I don't have one?
Well, you don't
think
have
I
the
don't have,
newest. You don't have the newest
7 of
one.
them?
You have old copies
Yeah, I
that
do.
John has brought in with the what the cat dragged in kind
God,
of a
it's
thing.
so awful. I hate them.
Okay.
Anyway, the point was that
Yeah.
my coffee mug, I pour the tea into it, and it like if I pour it, say, from a regular teacup into my travel cup, it overflows because it doesn't even hold a full cup of tea. And when you have a travel mug, you want it to hold more than a cup of tea.
Because you're traveling.
Yeah, and you need more.
Yeah.
So I admire yours because it looks like it probably holds a bonus amount of tea.
Yeah, it's really stood the test of time. I've had it for years and years now.
It's nice.
I like it. I mean, I like it. Bothers me, but no. Okay, time for a song.
Oh, already?
Where'd all the music go?
Oh, let's see if that stuff works today.
All right. So this is Hot Flannel.
Yay.
And Doug's playing. You see, Patrick told you. They have a gig
I think they're
somewhere.
are they at the Chandler? At the Chandler this weekend? Today?
I don't know. I didn't read his email. He said, Kristina, can you post this gig?
Oh.
And I looked at it really quickly and then I didn't get the details. So that's really helpful.
I do that.
isn't it?
I do that
really,
so,
really helpful.
so much.
Okay. Well, Doug Perkins, he was part of this band, right? Hot Flannel? Yeah,
I believe
of course
so.
he was.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. This is called Working on a Building.
Okay.
If I was a sinner, tell you what I would do. And I would quit my sinning and I work on the building too. Working on a building, I'm working on a building. I'm working on a building for my Lord, for my Lord. A Holy Ghost building. Building for my Lord, for my Lord. And if I was a gambler, I'd tell you what I would do. And I would quit my gambling and I'd work on the building too. Working on a building, I'm working on a building. I'm working on a building for my Lord, for my Lord. A Holy Ghost building, that's a Holy Ghost building. I'm working on a building for my Lord, for my Lord. And if I was a drunkard, I'd tell you what I would do. And I would quit my drinking and I'd work on a building too. Working on a building, I'm working on a building. I'm working on a building. And if I was a preacher, I'd tell you what I would do. And I would keep on preaching and I'd work on the building too. I'm working on a building. I'm working on a building. I'm working on a building for my Lord, for my Lord. The Holy Ghost building. That's a Holy Ghost building. I'm working on a building for my Lord. For my
I don't say stuff into the mic, but I'd like to give a big hand to Patrick Ross, who put this all together. It's pretty special to play with these guys.
Yeah,
Did you get it?
I
Are we on?
did. Sorry, I cut that off a little bit harshly. That was not a good fade out. But that was hot flannel.
That's cool.
So
You guys
try to
missed the
find out.
train.
Yeah, we missed the train. A train just came through. I was almost going to mix it in on top of the show there, but it would have been might have been interesting. Maybe next time. So anyway, where were we? That was a long track.
I don't even remember where we were. Oh, did you hear the big excitement in Montpelier today?
No. Oh.
There's a bat. There's a bat in the State House.
I thought you were going to say they passed the climate change bill, and then you said there's a bat
Oh
in
God,
the State
there
House.
was something. I think they did pass the climate change bill. That
Yeah,
was
I
last
think-
night.
Yeah.
Because John called me and it was already wicked late, and I'm like, "What are you doing? Why aren't you on the road?" And he said, "Oh, we haven't voted yet on this." And I
so
was like,
went
"What?"
on and on. Yeah.
And he said, "But so many people are dragging their feet about the vote." He said that they've decided to adjourn, and then there's some Democratic soiree happening. They're going to go do that and then come back late in the night and do this.
Wow.
And I was like,
Soiree.
"What?" He was like, "I don't want to go to this soiree."
Like they're going to dance and stuff?
I have no idea. He was like, "I didn't sign up to go to this." He was like, I just want to do the vote and go home." And I was like, "Oh, great." And he said, "All right, well, whatever. I'll call you when it's over."
Did he ever
And
get
then he
home?
called me back like an hour later, and he was like, "Thank God they just squeezed in the vote, so
Oh,
I didn't have
good.
to stay here all night long."
Good.
I just don't understand why they do that. There's so many things up there I don't
Well,
understand.
think of how many people are trying to talk all at the same time. That
know.
slows things down.
does.
There's so many different things to consider.
I don't even know
you
what
know?
the bill was, but
Well,
it's something.
these things are complicated because it's just there's like international climate agendas, which are
This one I think was pretty simple. I think it was just like reducing our carbon footprint by a
Which
certain
is-
amount
yeah, it's very
in the
vague.
next 10
It's
years
very
or something like
vague.
that. It doesn't say how or what or
I know,
why.
it's kinda
I mean,
dumb.
it seems like obviously a good idea. Of course we need to reduce our carbon footprint because we're running out of carbon
well, it's just things are polluted.
and
That's for
everything's
sure.
bad. Yeah, but it was a vague thing, I think. I mean, don't quote me because I literally have no idea.
We better not try to talk politics.
Isn't it terrible?
Let's talk about something else.
I should know what's
um,
going on, but John sometimes starts talking about it, and I'm just like, please, I can't.
Please
I can't hear.
stop.
I can't listen to this. I can't even hear what
I
you're saying.
know.
My brain is so overloaded right now.
Well, did you know that Joaquin Phoenix has been rescuing cows this week?
Oh,
He goes to pig vigils.
I'm conflicted about him because he was cracking down on the dairy farmers and how they take the calves away.
Well, that's the vegan standpoint.
and I'm so not vegan.
yeah,
so
but I thought I don't know how I feel about that either because
I'm upset about the bob calf issue. Were we talking
bob
about that?
calf.
Yeah, were we talking about that last week?
What's a bob calf?
A bob calf are the little tiny male calves that are born in dairy farms, and
Bob, like
yeah, I don't know where they got
like-
that nickname. It just means like a boy calf, which
That's
they
kinda
don't do anything.
cute. Bob calf. It's
it's like bobcat, but bob calf.
That's confusing. Bob calf.
But I didn't know anything about the bobcalf situation until some bill or something John was doing. He was explaining it to me. So the bobcalves basically are just shipped away to be ground up for things, products,
Dog food,
hot dogs or whatever. Usually hot dogs, or the base meat paste and whatever things. So, okay, like I understand. We have boy sheep that eventually get used for meat, but I'm not saying that that's terrible, but I'm also saying that that's terrible because here's the deal. They take these bobcalves and they take them away instantly usually. Most of them don't even live to get to the plant where this is going to happen.
right?
So a lot of farmers were saying if they could just get some colostrum or wait a couple days before they went, you'd have a healthier product in the end if you have to make this product. And it would not be the most cruel suffering, like
Right.
beginning and end of life all in one instant. Like,
Yeah, the meat industry is pretty much hidden away.
I know. And
Because
I
if
was
people saw-
totally shocked. I thought like, okay, they take these calves away. I understand that, they give them some milk and then they wait for a truck to come and they take them away. That's not what happens. They take them away instantly, and if they die, they die. And I'm totally grossed out by that. I don't care if you want to eat meat. That's totally okay with me. I'm not going to judge, but I do care if animals are suffering and do not have a good quality of life before they're eaten.
Yeah,
That makes me super, super upset.
yeah.
Anyway,
Well, so people have these pig vigils now.
what's
They
a pig
go
vigil?
well. They go to the slaughterhouse, and when they bring the trucks in with the pigs, they like pet the pigs and talk to the pigs and like try to make them feel good before they get killed.
See, I don't really love pigs, but I don't.
Well,
eat,
you
I don't
know
really.
how-
I don't eat them either. I just don't like love them as like.
Yeah, it's just
That
when
much.
when they're sitting in a truck and you know they're about to get sliced up, you might just have some feelings for a pig.
Well,
You might think twice about your bacon.
it doesn't actually comfort an animal to have people around it if it hasn't been socialized ahead of time. It actually makes them afraid.
Well, it depends where. I don't know. That's an interesting idea. I won't shoot it down, but it's more.
I realized this
it's
when
more-
we had recently a couple days ago. We have the super sketchy ewe was giving birth, and I realized it wasn't comforting her the way it comforts the other ones for me to like hold her or pet. Like usually you kind of hang on to them and you can pet them and distract them and stuff, especially if John is like in there trying to get something unstuck. This one was not raised on our farm. It came from someplace else, and it's scared of people. And so I was like making its situation worse by
I
like
see.
having my hands on it because it was really upset. It was not used to that, and that was adding
Yeah,
to its like
sure.
distress.
I getcha.
But I'm just used to the rest of my sheep are totally socialized, and they
Yeah.
want to be pet. They want to be like, touched, and this one did
Well,
not.
you can feel good about these two cows that got saved. Joaquin, he named them. They're named Liberty and Indigo. And so
Nice. He's
they're
making
now-
a huge fuss
he
about
took
milk,
them-
though.
he
He's saying
took
that we
them-
shouldn't eat milk because it's made for
Well,
baby
he's
cows.
he's because he's a celebrity. He's just making all these big symbolic gestures. It's not like saving
know.
two cows is really going to make a difference, but it's symbolic because he's a celebrity. So that's all.
Technically, it is true that milk is made for baby cows, but it's also technically true that people have drank milk since like the beginning of time.
Yeah.
And
I
don't know.
think-
I don't know. I don't know
Yeah,
what to feel
I
about
think
all that.
I think there's ways to make the dairy industry more humane for
Absolutely.
sure. So that's fine.
The dairy industry
for
is
wiping it out
super
completely.
important.
I'm not sure if I'm into that, but
No, I'm definitely not. But I just want there to be a few things that are tweaked because animals are important to me.
yeah,
Anyway.
animals are not vegetables.
No. Although I think I just did read a study that said that plants feel trauma
I
or
don't,
some.
I don't want to get into that
Okay,
discussion.
all right, I won't.
That is like my pet peeve, worst discussion that I ever want to get into
I know.
as a vegetarian. I
just don't understand
that.
what they don't have a brain. They don't have the same kind of nervous system that's
Well,
traveling.
why do we have to talk about it scientifically?
I
Let's
don't
just
know.
enjoy plants because we have a good. I mean, you and I think we have a really good relationship to plants, as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
I mean, my relationship with plants is not lacking in any way, is it?
No. And I don't need any more like neuroses in my life.
There
So
you
I don't need to
go.
be
There you
worrying
go.
that my plants are being hurt when I'm chewing on them.
Yeah, don't I feel enough shame and guilt already?
I know,
Look
really.
at me. Look at what I've become. And this is all because of shame and guilt for everything.
I was
Taking
just
on
talking to somebody
way
like
too
my
much.
kids. This is why my kids are strange. And this is why, like, hoarders, children are natural hoarders, like children, and you eventually grow out of some of these tendencies because you put human emotions on an object. So it's hard to get rid of it because you've attached to, like,
Yeah.
sort of a sentimental, like a teddy bear or
Or a
something. You
pet
think
rock,
it's
yeah,
real.
sure.
Or
And
blankies and things like
well,
that.
Anna used to take like a piece of cordwood and put it in her stroller
Yeah.
and push it around.
And once
she
you've
loved
decided
piece
that
of
thing has
wood.
feelings, it's really hard to get rid of it. Where was I going with this?
I don't know.
I'm just saying, it would be
I
like so
don't
mentally
know.
damaging to take people who already have these tendencies. Like, I tend to look at almost everything and almost give it a human.
Anthropomorphization.
Yeah, I think it is some word very
didn't say
similar
that
to
right.
that. So I do not need to do that to my food as well, or else my life is going to be so extra messed up right now.
Anthropomorphize your food like your
Yeah.
spaghetti. I mean,
I was just
pasta's pretty
trying
far
to tell
removed
somebody,
from.
like, I so much believe that my teddy bears were real and alive as a child that, like, even when I was getting a little too old for teddy bears, I would sneak out of bed in the middle of the night and go get glasses of water in the bathroom and bring them back and, like, hold the water against the teddy bears' mouths because I was so worried that they were dehydrated because, like, no one ever gave them water.
Yeah.
And I knew you could go a long time without food, but you can't go a long time without
Good
water.
thinking.
So my teddy bears growing up always had a really weird musty smell. My mom could never figure it out because they were always getting wet and dried because I would give them water every single night.
Yeah, you tip it like right up.
And
to
I was
them.
like 11 or 12 before I
Were you?
stopped doing this. So
Yeah.
before I was like, it's all right, they're
Well,
not real.
of course, I had an animal hospital in my closet.
Right. I thought those were actual dead animals, though.
No, I had a cemetery. I had an animal cemetery for dead wildlife that was out in the woods in a
Yes.
hidden spot. But in my closet in my house, I had an animal hospital for my stuffed animals.
Okay.
And I would bandage up their wounds. I was more concerned with their wounds than, like, were they dehydrated.
Oh, I was really, I don't know why dehydration was like a huge concern of mine growing up.
Yeah.
I have no idea why.
Well, stuffed animals sometimes get wounded by dogs and
Yep.
like thrown off playground sets and things and their eyes fall out.
Yep, they do. My sister, when she would get mad at my other sister, would take her Cabbage Patch doll, which was a Cabbage Patch preemie doll, so it didn't have any hair or anything. It was just slightly scaled down size. And she would scream, "I'm going to kill Cabby!" And she would take it. And in one of our bedrooms, my parents
I know
had
which
left the
sister.
exposed chimney was still
Yeah.
there. Like, they hadn't enclosed it in wood. You could just, the cement chimney
Yeah,
bricks
cement
went up in that
block.
room. And so Jen would beat Myra's Cabby against its head against the chimney.
No.
And then
Really?
Myra would be like, "It's okay. He didn't quite die, Jen." And, like, take him back and say he was fine again.
Oh, no.
Anyway.
This is so awful.
I know.
It's time for a song.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
I know. Let's see what I have. Jemima James is her name. We once did a concert.
Jemima.
I know. We did a concert up, let's see, Ariel and I, a long time ago, and Jemima was also playing. She's a family friend of the Zevons.
video of Ariel playing music surrounded by critters, and it was so cute.
That was called Masochist.
Yeah.
Right. I know. It was a pretty cool video.
It
She had
was
a
cool.
pretty red dress on.
Yeah, she looked cold though because it was
Yeah.
like a tank. It was a tank dress, and she was in the
It was
snow.
sleepless and it was snowing.
Yeah.
She said she got cold making it.
I figured.
Yeah. So
All right,
let's see.
play this. Play this
Okay,
music.
here we go. This is called When You Get Old.
When you get old, fires still burn. When you get old, you still dream. tell them, look out now, pay attention, keep your wits. They are the only wits you'll ever have. You got good ones to do.
Thank you, Jemima. That was interesting. I didn't listen to it, but I bet it was cool.
It sounded very New Orleans-y.
Yeah, it did.
Very cool. Oh, my grandmother tried to teach us to knit this week, and I was like, no.
Yeah, but your embroidery was beautiful. You're quite a talent.
That was an easy embroidery. I picked like the easiest one ever because it was
so
just like
pretty.
straight stitches, not all those little cross-stitchy ones, which I do know how to do, but they are frustrating and hard.
Well, it was
But
beautiful.
my sister Jen stuck with it and learned how to knit.
Nice.
People have been trying to teach me to knit for 100 years, which, you know, it makes sense. I live on a sheep farm. I have probably access to more wool and wool products than anyone I know, but I just can't
We don't have to do everything.
bring myself to knit.
Yeah. It's okay. You do a lot of other stuff. You make buttons.
Yeah, knitting
Right.
just seems
You
mathy
draw.
or something. It's like knit one purl this.
I guess
this
when you
many,
get good
and then
at it.
I just can't
know.
count. I can't count and keep track of things.
Yeah.
My
Well,
brain has to do things that are monotonous sometimes. And I suppose knitting is monotonous, but like
Once you get good at it, it's
Yeah,
probably
I don't have
monotonous.
the-
But,
I just can't.
well,
I
you
can't.
know, speaking of artistic talents, there's this, do you know the ski maps that you get when you go to the ski area?
Yeah.
They're hand drawn by
I
a
know.
guy.
I saw
Did
that
you
article
see?
on that guy
I
who
went-
paints them.
They're
It
so
was
beautiful.
awesome.
I want the coffee table book, which is $90.
Yeah, I do too. I saw that. It looked
How
really,
can
really
we-
cool.
can we, like-
Maybe it's on eBay. Maybe we can get a used one
yeah.
or the Amazon used one.
Because it's like you saw how many ski maps he actually hand drew.
They were really cool, and how he went all over the mountain, like taking photos and getting all the trees like right in the right spots and everything.
Yeah, and he did like the 11
love ski maps.
ski maps in Vermont. Plus, he does them internationally.
Ski maps are my favorite. I'm always taking pictures of ski maps at places because then I have the picture of the map on my phone, and I don't have to like take
Oh,
the
that's
paper one.
smart.
And I just like them.
That's super smart.
They're really
They're beautiful.
Yeah.
And didn't you wonder why they all kind of look the same? You know,
'Cause it's
because it's the
ski
same guy. It's the same
areas
guy.
look kind of the same. Like
Wouldn't
the
that be
air
fun
trails
as a job?
on
Would you?
mountains.
But wouldn't you like that job to draw
Yeah.
ski maps like all day long? He's in his studio drawing these beautiful mountains and all these cool trails.
Kind
just
of. I
think
wonder
maybe
if
I
they
should
do start
that.
feeling similar though, because you know ski hills are like the same thing.
Yeah,
over
but
and
you
over
can
again.
enjoy doing the same thing over and over. You just said you liked
That's
monotonous
true.
things.
That's true. I could
People
actually.
paint the same painting over and over and over, and it's
know.
different every single time. I write the same song. Like I've only written one song, and they're just they come out
hate when
different every
they-
time.
Have you ever seen those articles or videos where they have like the elephant, refuge where they have the elephants painting the pictures? Ever seen those? The elephants paint a picture of like a flower and an elephant. And everyone's like, this is amazing. And people pay a lot of money to buy these paintings.
I guess.
The elephant isn't really like painting the picture out of memory or anything. Like the elephant has been trained to just make the same exact brushstrokes over and over and over again.
Really?
And it's kind of sad and mean, and I hate it.
It's fakery.
It is fakery.
And it's animal manipulation. We're on an
People
animal
pay
theme
so
today.
much money thinking that they've got a painting that an elephant painted. And I'm not saying that elephants aren't brilliant and smart, because they are. But the elephant didn't decide to do that painting. Like someone like trained it and was probably not super nice to it while it was training it. And so I don't.
Well, at least they don't make them wear clothes.
It's a weird tourist gimmick that
Can you imagine?
find in a lot of places.
Can you imagine, like, if elephants had to wear clothes?
I make my sheep wear clothes.
Yeah, but that's different. It's smaller.
That reminds me, I haven't put my sock monkey costume on any sheep yet this year, and I'm gonna have to go home and do that. But it's really cold.
You'll start a new couture.
It was
right?
just
spelling word alert.
I can spell that.
Couture. Did I say it correctly? Is that how you say it? Couture. And I'll tell you what it is.
No, I can't spell it, but I almost can.
The business.
COUTTEU.
You're going too fancy. You're going too fancy.
I don't know.
Think simplify. It's actually simpler than you think it's going to be.
COUT.
It's the business of designing, making, and selling fashionable, custom-made clothing. Couture.
COUTTEUR.
No, it's just
right.
TURE. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have told you. COUTURE. That's it. Couture.
Oh, weird. I thought there were 2 T's.
No.
Learn something new every Friday.
You could found a clothing line.
I can spell oat, though.
Oat?
That goes before couture.
Coat, C-O-U-T.
No. HAUTE. Haute couture. There.
You say oat?
That's how you say
Haute?
it.
I always said haute. Was that
Let me
like a heathenistic?
Let me find the Google
heathenistic-
pronunciation. Can I do that on here? Is that a thing?
What, on your phone?
Yeah.
Your phone's a thing. Your phone is a device that can look for information for you because it's called a smartphone.
Well, I don't know how to turn
But
on the talking thing.
It's actually poisoning your brain.
None. How to
And
pronounce.
it's programming you to think certain things about things.
Okay, here it comes.
But it is a thing.
How to pronounce
Haute.
couture.
Couture. Haute. You said oat. It's not oat. Come on. How many people say oat couture?
I don't know. Hold on. Where does it say?
I would think it was.
It's a sound bite. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, ready?
Yep.
Nothing's happening. I'm pushing the thing.
It's a good cell signal here. I know it. I don't know if the payphone works at the law school.
Oh, I didn't have the volume up. Okay.
Okay.
That's why. All right.
Haute couture.
Ha! No. Oh. Haute.
Haute couture.
Oat? Oat. But she says it like
Haute couture.
oat. She put oat. She
Haute
puts
couture.
oat couture.
Okay, but hold on a second. Here's another. That's in British English. Let's see what US is.
Okay.
Haute couture.
Weird. How did you know that? It's another case where you're
I'm a
smart.
clothes horse.
Okay.
That's how I knew it.
That's how. Fair enough.
Well, I didn't spell couture properly. So
you win. I know more
clearly-
about astrology than you do.
Yes, you do.
I do. I really, really do.
I know. I'm not arguing. You so do.
I made a whole chart with all my aspects last week, and I put it in
aspects?
and I put it in like a plastic sheet protector so that I could access it easily should the topic come up. So I'd say, what's
my
in your
God.
12th? What's in your 12th house? What's transiting your 12th
how many
house
houses
right
are
now?
there?
12. It's easy. It's just 12. Come on, there's 12 signs of the zodiac, right?
Do you mean like months? Is that what you're meaning here?
No.
I mean, I know they don't. I know the zodiac
No,
signs
it's
don't exactly
sections.
correspond by months, but it's like the 12 sections of the year, kind of like a month, but just like jogged off a little bit,
It's a section of the sky.
right? That's like the Virgo, Aries, all that stuff, right?
Those are constellations.
Are they not the houses?
Houses are great expanses of space that represent different
Are there
things.
also 12 constellations, though?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, that we use in astrology.
There's more than I ever needed to know about.
Well, there's more stars in the sky than you're ever going to need to use
Did
for
you
anything.
see them last night? They were it was so cold and
Did you
crisp.
know that
they
the
were like
Dipper?
sharp?
Did you see that thing about how the Dipper goes around in a whole circle like it rotates around the North Star?
It's scooping.
Like the handle.
It's dipping.
Why, you do that?
Scooping.
What do you mean?
It's like a water wheel. Scoop.
You don't know what I'm talking about.
I think I did know
I'm
that.
saying it like over the course of the year, the position
it
in
like
the sky.
goes like it scoops.
How'd you know that?
I think I saw it somewhere. Did you say it to me before?
Never.
Well, I don't know how
I didn't
knew
know it.
Well, I knew the
How would
Dipper
I have known
scoops. I
about
knew
the
its
Big
motion
Dipper?
scoops.
I didn't take astronomy in college.
Was there even astronomy?
Yes.
In college?
Of course there was.
Is there still?
There were kids.
How can that even be a class? I mean, other than like the actual star stuff.
Some people do like space as opposed to you.
Oh, actual astronomy. I thought you said I thought you meant astrology. And I was thinking, that's not a class. I bet it is someplace, though. I bet it's a class at Goddard. Oh, did I say that out loud?
Yeah, you did. You did. But it's okay. I'm not offended personally. I know that there are certain areas in which
I just like to make fun of it. I don't even find it as make funnable as I make out, but you know.
Your ignorance in certain areas is legendary. It's fine. We all have those areas where we just have a certain blackout and we have denial and we have like, I can't handle it. So we just put it aside and we say it doesn't exist.
So much
and there
denial.
you go. Because life is big enough. I mean, the life you have is probably big enough. Sometimes you don't feel like expanding it into other
That's exactly the
strange
case.
areas.
I just can't have more topics. Are not allowed to come in here.
Impede and like fight for time in your head.
I know.
In space. They're trying to take up space in your head and it's limited. You think it's not actually
Were
not
we talking about
limited.
this a few weeks ago about how brains must be filing away like all of our dreams and things like that, but you can't really access them?
Well, yeah.
Like
We only access like 4% of what's going on.
I don't think we could handle it if we could access everything.
It's because we're in
it's
bodies.
Too much.
Bodies are limited.
It's like 24/7 stimulation that we have to remember. And
our DNA has been genetically altered by extraterrestrials.
No.
So that's a bit of a problem.
No.
Well, it's causing
what?
problems.
Oh, I just found the answer to all of your extraterrestrial abduction things.
Okay.
There's this like creepy, crazy guy.
Well, don't start out an explanation with a creepy, crazy guy.
Well,
who's
this
gonna
is the
discredit
explanation.
My
He was like a weirdo someplace out near
some
some like
people would think
area 51.
you're a weirdo.
No, this was like an actual like bad
You want to know
sexual
something really,
predator.
Wait a minute. Shh.
He fed
I wanna
people
tell-
like hallucinogenic things, and then he took them into a van that he had totally decked out to look like a spaceship. And when they came to, he like probed them and did all kinds of stuff, dressed like an alien.
One guy.
Yeah, he did
Is that
this to like
why-
50 people.
Is that why millions of
Let me
people
look it up.
across the globe have experiences of abductions? Because
Maybe there's more people who have this
one
weird
guy
fetish,
with a
this alien
van
probing
showed
fetish.
up in one place.
Okay.
Did you know
What
that?
do I look up?
Listen, Emily, you'd be so interested in this if you could just
Alien.
open your mind for a second. That Area 51 has
Guy.
submarines coming to it from Santa Monica. I'm not kidding.
Sexual predator. What?
No, can you imagine that? A submarine coming all the way from the West Coast into Area 51, which is somewhere in like Nevada.
A submarine?
It's so cool.
Isn't there no ocean
There's
there?
so many cool things going on with our tax dollars.
Okay, I'm looking it up now. I didn't spell predator right because
Things
my
we
thumb
could have
slipped.
never dreamed of and never would have agreed to had we
I
known.
think you can't take a submarine to Area 51.
Well, check it out. Do some
Texas
research.
man confessed to kidnapping 79 people while dressing
Nice.
disguised as an alien. Oh my God, he even looks like an alien. Arnold White admitted he had kidnapped and
Emily,
sexually assaulted 79 people
Stop.
while he was
we don't want to hear
disguised
this.
as an alien.
This is old news. It's time to get off the air. Anyway,
Okay.
just you got to calm down off this guy.
He used costumes,
I don't
drugs,
care.
and special effects to have his
Okay.
victims believe they've been abducted by aliens.
Well, that's a great
Wait, I just have to
psyops.
show you his picture because
That's
you
called
will believe in aliens as soon as you see this guy.
That's called
This is the guy who dressed like
You know
an
what
alien.
that's called? COINTEL Pro. Look that up in your big
I'll
book
never
in
be
your
able to spell
Encyclopedia
that.
Britannica.
Look
All
at
right,
his.
we have a song
look
to
at
go
him.
out on, which is called Clamanda.
It's not a STD.
No.
Chlamydia.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, this is Keith Murphy, who lives in Brattleboro.
Is
He's
chlamydia
like
the
a
one that
great-
makes you go
great-
blind?
This is Clamanda.
I know. I'm just saying. I think.
Okay.
I'm really
right.
bummed about
Well,
this weird little tiny microphone I've had to use today. But
Sorry.
all right, play
The
it.
microphones, by the way, are exactly the same size. It's the windscreen that's bigger.
I know.
on
It just
your
feels
other
inadequate.
microphone.
We didn't introduce the show, so I better do it before we leave, though.
Okay.
This is 11th Hour Radio that you guys have been listening to with Kristina, Stykos, and Emily Howe, coming to you live every Friday from WFVR LP and 96.5 Royalton Community Radio.
Okay, very good. Thanks
If
for
an
listening.
alien tries to abduct you, make sure he's really an alien.
Good advice from Emily Howe. Thank you, Emily. See you next week.
Have a great weekend.
your lovely social band, who walk the way to Canaan's land, ye who have fled from Sodom's plain, say, do you wish to turn again? Oh, and have you ventured to the field, well armed with helmet, sword, and shield? And shall the world with dread alarms compel you now to ground your arms? Oh, and have you ventured to the field, well armed with helmet, sword, and shield? And shall the world with dread alarms compel you now to ground your arms? Fires fill the sky from whence you came, and brimstone in a driving rain blows ash and dust upon your heels, while you in haste to safety steal. Oh, and have you ventured to the field, well armed with helmet, sword, and shield? And shall the world with dread alarms compel you now to ground your arms? Oh, and have you ventured to the field, well armed with helmet, sword, and shield? And shall the world with dread alarms compel you now to ground your arms? Say now, your lovely social band, who walk the way to Canaan's land, ye who have fled from Sodom's plain, say, do you wish to turn again? Oh, and have you ventured to the field, well armed with helmet, sword, and shield? And shall the world with dread alarms compel you now to ground your arms? Oh, and have you ventured to the field, well armed with helmet, sword, and shield? And shall the world with dread alarms compel you now to ground your arms?